Hello, everyone. YouTube. It's Warren again, checking in, see how everything is going. Nothing in particular to talk about right now, except for I'm a bit tired. Last 2 days, yes, there's been a lot of things going on, a lot of moving, a lot of working, just been a whole lot for the last 2 days. But anyway, I'm home, safe and sound, relaxed. And I was thinking about something. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, a personal friend over the phone. And we was talking about side incomes and chasing your hustle. The way I see it, if it's something you're good at, don't be afraid to chase it. You know, chase your hustle, chase your dreams, get that side income, that extra income, whether it's an extra $100 a month or extra $2,000 a month, somewhere in between. But the thing of it is, we have to be willing to put in the time to get the reward. The ultimate reward, of course, is money to continue to move forward, to pay bills, and to survive in today's world, of course. So don't be afraid to chase your side hustles or your dreams or your part-time jobs, whatever you want to call it. And especially when you're your 50s and 60s, I think now is a better time to develop those side skills because you have less things in your life that we tend to think that's important. The clubbing, the nightlife, all those things. You have more time to figure out and earn your place as far as extra income. And it could very well be YouTube. A lot of people using this YouTube as a platform for extra income or for their main income, which is great. I don't think I will get to that point to where I will heavily rely on it. Although when that moment comes, I'll take it as it comes. I'm not saying I don't want to. I'm not saying that's my primary goal here. My primary goal is just to reach out and talk to people, things of that nature. But as far as my side hustles, things have improved tremendously, and it's continuing to get better. And it's allowing me to make better moves and better choices on some of the things that, this may sound selfish, but some of the things that I want, some of the things that I want to enjoy, being an older gentleman, not old, but older, I can enjoy these things because I feel like I'm in a better situation, a better place that I can take care of things. And even those who enjoy traveling, have friends that take 6 trips a year. I know that can be expensive, but, they have the extra income to manage those things. A lot of us are in a 2-income household where 2 able-minded adults are out working. Unless that relationship is great, I don't think that's going to be a great idea for a lot of us that are in the relationships that are struggling. And if you are in a relationship that are struggling and you've tried your best to work it out, it may be a good idea to start planning your next move to get away from that relationship. Not saying that your spouse is at fault, not saying that you're at fault, but you have to think about your next move. And my next moves are to continue to allow things to fall into place. You ever had those situations or those days to where you've gone 2 or 3 weeks and nothing out of the ordinary has gone wrong? Everything has been almost next to perfect. And it almost scares you because, wait a minute, there's no drama in your life. And it almost scares you because things are going so great. The reason why it's going so great for you, because you are doing the right things. You've made the right decisions. And that's what it's all about, making the right decisions. Yes, we're going to still make mistakes. We're human. But, excuse me. But as mature adults, we have to be able to understand and accept our downfalls. We're going to constantly have them. You get to an age to where, you kind of think you don't want to try to keep reinventing yourself. And that's where you think about some of the things that you've done in all the years past that you have absolutely enjoyed. Whether it's knitting, whether it's, racing boats, or whether it's just doing any kind of arts and crafts or making nameplates, whatever it is that you have homed and you've been doing it for the last 25 plus years for your family and friends. Why not post some of those things for sale? There's a lot of ways to make money to generate that second income. And I'm long gone on the days that I think that today being Saturday or tonight being Saturday, I'm going to be rich by next Friday. It doesn't work that way. I'm taking my slow steps. I'm allowing the time. I'm being patient. And this patience has started to pay off for me. A lot of things are going on better in my life. So, as a single guy living alone, only I can fail. There won't be nobody to blame but myself. And I can accept those blames when it's just me and I'm willing to do these things and willing to make the sacrifices because I am absolutely certain that I am well taken care of. That's the key fact right there, being well taken care of. We think that we have to be in certain situations because we've gotten older and we want to feel that need to belong. Feel that need or that desire to get through that next day without any worry and hopefully any harm that comes your way. Everything else, the playtime, the spouse, all that stuff will come in time. Why rush it? Because if you're like me and like most people that's on YouTube or most people in America, we rushed into a lot of things and a lot of situations and a lot of relationships that did not pan out. Do we want to keep doing that? No, we don't. Do you want to keep doing it as far as money and coming up short? No, you do not. So think about those things that you love. Think about those side hustles. I don't have to really get on here and talk about mine. It's legal, of course. But think about those things that you know that you can do on the side that would greatly benefit you. And if it is making content on YouTube, that's fine. Once again, I've been watching several new people that I've recently discovered. Young man just talking and he's frying baloney. But his viewers are going up because he's just being himself. He's just talking about his day. He's talking about things that's going on in his life. So maybe that could work for you. You don't have to get too personal about yourself, but just think of some different things that you can do to help generate that extra income. Because when we all get to that point to where we want to retire, and if it happens for me, great. If I can manage to retire at the age of 62 and I have a really good, stable second income, I'll take the hit. The hit when you retire early. I'll be willing to take that hit. I really don't want to work till I'm 70 plus years old. I really do not. Even though I'm in the type of field that I could do that, but I'm at that point right now where the minute that the whole idea of retirement when it first came into my mind, it stays there. I've been working, having a great day, and I'm thinking about retirement. Not so much of where you're going, where you're traveling. I don't know why everybody associates retirement with where you're going to travel. Why do I have to travel? Why can't I retire and do things like this on YouTube? Maybe make short trips, maybe get involved in some different programs. And speaking of which, I had gone to a job site that was at one of the West Georgia college campuses. And I was looking at their courses that they provide. Everything from nursing to healthcare to cosmetology to ambulatory services. Everything is done right there at that location. And that's something that I'm looking into right now. Okay, if I do retire, maybe I'll just take some courses. Not to get another job, of course, but I would like to do things like take the paramedic classes, because as you become older and we all gonna have to kind of rely on each other outside of our doctors, it's probably a good idea to know some of these things. I don't necessarily have to become a full-time paramedic, but to know the basics, I'm really thinking about looking into taking some of those classes, and try to figure out how can I incorporate that into my daily schedule. My biggest problem I'm having right now in my daily schedule is when I get off work in the afternoons. Some days I just don't feel like doing anything, and I allow that television to once again poison my mind. I have to condition myself, and this is the way I figure out I'm going to do it. Once I get off work, come home, change clothes, take a brisk 30-minute, 45-minute walk, come in, whether I'm going to post videos or I'm going to have a class that I can take online. I need to think of something else to do than the television, because most of the things that I watch are usually based on how to and how to fix it shows. I enjoy those shows, so I can do that and listen to podcasts, which I typically do during the course of the day while I'm at work. So no need of me coming home every day and turning on this television. And that's why I got on here right now. I have been on TV watching television for the last 2 hours. And I realized time was wasting. I mean, yeah, sure, I've had a busy 2 days, and yeah, I want to come home and put my feet up, and which I did. And I've gotten so much better at monitoring my time. So if I'm going to monitor my time and take advantage of some of my afternoons, I really need to focus on my side work. How can I incorporate my evenings into that? Do I want to come straight home every day and work an additional 2 hours a day? Or do I want to stay in the office and after hours put in those 2 hours? I have to really see where I stand on that. And I really need to focus on that. And I think I'll be better off if I just come home and work from home. Everything I need is here, as long as I don't turn on that television. As far as travel, the idea of camping is still in the back of my mind. And I've been looking around, looking for some good startup camping gear. So if any of you, men and women that are heavily into camping and could suggest some good startup gear, drop me a comment and let me know. Give me some ideas, some things that you personally have that you really like, some things that you had to return for obvious reasons. I want to hear these things. I would like to hear from you all versus, and I do reviews on YouTube. I even check reviews on Amazon, but with most of those things, like with the big box stores and the Amazon and all those, a lot of those reviews, they're paying people for. And I'm not knocking that hustle, but I would like to have a true review on the things that you may have purchased in reference to camping. Excuse me. I'm gonna get my juice in. Some reviews on things that you love as far as camping. The type of cookware you use. I own a Dutch oven that I want to use when I go camping. I'm looking at those portable camp stoves and things of that nature. So it's just some things that I don't want to invest too much money, because it may be one weekend out the month that I would do this. Unless I'm on vacation, I may go somewhere for a whole week. But to start off, one weekend out of the month, I've researched a couple of places where I can rent a small cabin for maybe 4 days. And I want to go by myself to experience, because I don't know about you all, but there's always that one friend, maybe two, as soon as you get there, they're ready to go. You can't take them anywhere. And I don't want to experience that while I'm trying to develop different forms of my social life, because I want to do something different than the norm. And for a lot of people, camping is the norm. But for somebody like me that's getting into it, it'll be a brand new, fresh experience. And I can start investing in it. And I'm not going to go overboard with it. I'm quite frugal when it comes to a lot of things. But at times, that Leo in me, once I make up my mind I want it, I'm going to get it. And I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to place it in levels in order of prioritizing things. If I really want this, I need to focus on this and figure out how I can make it work for me. So that would be the same for camping gear. Of course, with camping comes fishing. I'm not that keen on going fishing right now. I just want to enjoy nature. My idea of camping, get a nice campsite, enjoy some walks, grill out in the evenings, and possibly do the same thing the next day. I don't need to start off with everything. I don't need fishing gear. I don't need all these other things. I'm not trying to go hunting. I know several guys at my job that they go hunting. I don't want to go hunting. It's just basic relaxation, camping, and listening to nature. To relax. I'm trying to think of other ways I can possibly relaxed to the point to where now I'm so relaxed to where taking on a second project right away, it kind of raises the board for me. That moment of relaxation goes away, but I have to remember that, you're going to have these ups and downs, your day-to-day work schedule. It can't always be a straight across the board level tone, but there's nothing to complain about. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you learning. And I'm the type, when it comes to my boss, I'm the first one to own up to my mistakes. I'm the first one to call out some things and, hey, how do you think we should handle this? Or what's the best way of doing these things? Because when you're working, you're constantly learning, you're constantly growing. I don't think there's too many people that are at work that's still working, that has aced that job that they can't rely on anybody. And that's even in sports. And I don't even watch sports that much, but I'm sure these well-trained professionals, they still go through a moment of learning. That's why they stay on top. So in order for you to stay on top, you have to stay focused. And that's why I'm trying to incorporate camping and more things I could do to relax, because I think it'll help me stay focused for my Monday through Friday workday. Now, I did tease my boss yesterday while we was out on a job site that I'm thinking of at least stepping down to 32 hours a week instead of 40 next year. But I, tabled it, and I said, well, can we please discuss this during my review in December? He was okay. He's cool with that. And, as long as it's affordable, I'm willing to do it. I think gradually stepping away from a job than to just walk away from a job. No, I'm not ready to go now. I'm not ready to quit. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm just saying, I think stepping down would probably work for me. And I can still maintain doing my side work. I've always had some type of side job, some type of side hustle, whether I was by myself or married or whatever. Sometimes I had side hustles going on that I didn't even bother even telling anybody about, because you want to know why? Once you start bringing people into your business, excuse me, they're the first one to try to put you down for it, try to talk you out of it. And, without looking at the brighter picture, how you can advance. And so I would leave a lot of people out of some of the things I'm doing, because there are always going to be some naysayers. I read the little test. Several people said, excuse me, y'all, scratch your throat. When you're starting these YouTube channels, don't tell your friends about it. I said, no, I'm going to test that theory. I told 2 friends that I really don't care about their opinion. Oh man, you don't want to do that. Why you doing this? Why you doing that? I would never do that. See, I was getting all that negativity instead of, good luck, man. So what are you going to be posting? What's it going to be about? Maybe they could have helped bounce some ideas off. So when you have this negativity with your so-called close friends, maybe you have to kind of step back. I'm not saying you don't have to deal with people, but step back, especially when you're trying to, the bottom line, put extra money in your bank account. So at the end of the month, or the beginning of the third week into the month, you don't have to really struggle when you're paying bills. Pay them and get ready to pay yourself for the next month. And hopefully we can all get to a point to where we are at least the bare minimum 3 months in advance on all of our bills. That's hard work, but you can do it. You can get to a point where you are at least 3 months in advance put away for bills. That's outside of your regular savings. That's that rainy day account to where you never know, something happens. You have 3 additional months of income put away that'll keep you afloat. Because if something happens, you recover. Yes, we all have sick time. Yes, we all have this, that, third. I would just feel more comfortable knowing that I have that extra cash just in case. Excuse me again. And not to be dipping into it because you saw a 98-inch television on sale. And we all have that problem. The latest and greatest, the flashiness, we got to have it. There's only 2 things that I knew that I wanted within the last 3 years. I accomplished it. But I'm done after that. Not flashy. I don't need a whole lot of new clothes. I want some new clothes. I need the basics. I need the shirts and I need the slacks. That's all I need at this point in my life. So try to streamline some of the things that you're doing. You know, I think when we sit back and we actually talk about some of these things, and for me personally, it's good to know that I have a personal friend that I can bounce ideas off of, and she can with me. And it is very helpful knowing that you have that person that can be supportive. Even if they don't think it's a good idea, there's a way that they can tell you, well, have you thought about this along with it? Because when we're thinking about all these harebrained ideas, first thing we're thinking about is how much money we're going to have, but we're not considering the steps we have to take to get to that money. And today, where it used to be, it was all about, how do they say it? Get that bag of stacking paper. Yeah, those days are gone. What we need to do is focusing on saving more and living comfortably month to month, every 6 months or year to year, however you want to put it, whatever works for you, but how to live in a state of being comfortable. And with me being on my own, it cuts down on groceries. It cuts down on utilities. It cuts down on wear and tear. It cuts down on disagreements and or arguments. It cuts down on dealing with kids and all these other things. And your life is much better for it. You know, some people, there's nothing against it. Don't get me wrong. Hear me out. But I would choose that peace and that time for a level of advancement in my own personal life over anything. And it's been going slow, but it's been happening. You know, I can remember maybe 3.5, 4 years ago, I was in a rut. How am I going to get to this next point? How am I going to get to this point? I just trust and I believed. And I just started knocking it down day by day, week by week, month by month. Things started to fall in line. Opportunities came my way as far as extra work, as far as quick money as a start off or a startup. And I took advantage of that situation. I literally did not have to go looking for work. It came to me. And I really believe it came to me because when I asked for it, I think the higher power or whoever you believe in actually heard you and heard your desire to get to that next point. And to understand that you can do it and be patient in the process of doing it. I really do believe that. Whether you talk to a friend or a brother or sister about getting to the next level, about second income, if they really can see the fire and desire in you to get to that point and you're doing it for better reasons other than chasing bag, as they say, nothing's wrong with that. But you have a different desire and different outlook on why you want to do that. And let's be honest, with everything going up, we all going to need that extra income. We're all going to need the extra money. We're all going to need to be prepared for these increases in your auto insurance for no apparent reason. The increase in the price of eggs, being able to shop smart. I no longer buy things the way I have to fill my freezer up, and within 2 months, I'm throwing it away. If I have to go to the store every 10 days to restock on salmon or whatever I buy that I keep in the freezer, I'd rather do that every 10 days because throughout those 10 days, I may not even want any more salmon. I may want to switch to something else. I may want to treat myself to a roast or treat myself to a steak. But the beauty in that is I've earned the right and earned enough extra credits to be able to treat myself. And then when the time comes, you want to go out on a date or go out with a friend and have a great evening with somebody to where you want to, I can take them out, have a great time. I don't feel like I have to worry about it come Monday when I look at my account and, oh my God, I should have spent that extra $40 on dinner. You'd be surprised. $40 means a lot when it's time to pay that light bill and you coming up short. That's another thing, utilities, while I'm talking about light bills. I have always, within the last 3 years, paid extra on my light bill. If my light bill is $80, I'm $40 over it. I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of $120. I always try to be at least $40 every time I get a light bill. I always pay between $30 and $40 more, because it may come a time to where you may actually be a little short the next month, but guess what? Now you've got a credit. So credit can be applied to other things other than having a credit card that we're constantly paying on. For those of you that may have a water bill, you can do the same thing. Pay extra on it. If you've got that extra money, and especially those of you that are getting these great stimulus checks, that's a great idea. Take some of that money, pay a little bit extra on these bills. Put a little bit extra. If you can afford it, and you got if you're fortunate enough to have a $65 light bill and you've got this big stimulus check, why not triple the payment? It's going to be in there. And then the next month when you get your statement and it says zero owed, still pay another $60. Just keep it going. And then when you get down the road to when that stimulus money run out or all these other things run out, guess what? You could easily be up $300 or $400 on your utilities. Easily. So if you don't have that money that next month, guess what? They're going to take it out of that, what you've built up. So if you think about it that way, I've had come home and had a certain utility that was cut off because it was only $13, but it really wasn't on me. I'm not going to get into that. But imagine having a gas bill that was $13. Excuse me, y'all. And right now today, I get a gas bill. And if it's $15, I'm at least paying $60 on it. As long as I have that extra income. Because I could easily, once again, like I used to, go around the street to the bar, a $75 or $80 tab on myself for a couple of hours at a bar. Or I can take that same amount of money and put it towards a utility bill. I can still go out, but I'm on a budget now. I know that, okay, if I go out, I'll eat dinner before I go out. I may go out and have a beer or two. So it's ways you could balance that out. The main thing is start focusing on increasing your utility payments. A young lady was on YouTube the other day, and I just happened to come across her page, and she was coming up on the end of her lease agreement, her apartment complex. And she negotiated, and she was talking about how she negotiated with them to try to get a lower rate based on the current market value of her apartment complex. And surprisingly, they honored it. They didn't tell her, you got to move out, you got to reapply, whatever. I don't know how she worked it out, but she managed to save $175 a month on her monthly rent because she renegotiated at the end of her lease term. And it may be a situation where maybe that property has a high turnover rate and they can't really get people in. They probably rather keep her minus the $175 a month than to let another person walk away. I don't know. That's another thing you could look into for those, those of us that are out here leasing or renting. It's coming up on the end of that lease term. Go up there and talk to management. Just talk to them about it. The worst they can say, they can say no, but you still got a roof over your head. You don't know until you ask. I go out to eat. I'm always asking for extra. Can I get something extra? Can I get if they offer me a beverage, they offer me a beer because it's their special. I always say I'm willing to take that special, but can I get a free one as well? Buy one, get one. A lot of times they will honor that. Sometimes they want to give you two sides. You ask them for that extra side. You'll be surprised how much less meat that you have to eat and finish all at that one sitting. Then you got enough to take it home for your lunch tomorrow. You got a whole nother side. You got half your meat that you didn't eat. Think about getting to that next level. And I had to start thinking that way. And now even my biggest issue is cooking daily for just one person, because it's hard to cook for one person. I feel like I always waste food when I do that. So I'm trying to limit that by cutting down on the portions that I cook, especially when I cook something with ground beef. I can buy a pound, I only need a half. So I'm starting to immediately section that off, date it. I know for a fact if I buy something with ground beef, want to cook with ground beef, within that next week, I'm going to use that other half of ground beef. It's not going to sit in my freezer, get freezer burn. It's not going to stay up there for 4, 5, 6 months. Just telling the lady friend about that. I don't use my refrigerator and my freezer as a storage place for Tupperware bowls. If you really think about that, a lot of us have a refrigerator and a freezer full of Tupperware bowls. I have one glass Tupperware bowl that's in my refrigerator right now with leftovers from what I made for dinner tonight. Keep it clean, keep your refrigerator clean, keep it where you can see things. You better think, I did one thing. I'm just rambling everybody. It's late. I'm just talking till I get ready to go to bed. Went to the big box a couple of weeks ago and I bought the creamer for my coffee. I always buy the big canister. And I got a deal on another membership for the competitor's big box store. Great deal on it. I'm in the shopping, didn't have a list, came home with everything. Be doggone if I didn't buy the exact same coffee creamer once again. That's the reason why I don't like going to the store without a list. I don't care if I have 4 things I need. I will stick to those 4 things. I do not go up and down each aisle. When I get there, and I very seldom do this, if I have a taste for ice cream, it's probably once every 6 months. So do I really need to buy all these big things of ice cream and all this stuff? No, I really don't. I'll get a pint. I know the pint of ice cream is not even a full pint no more. I remember getting it for 99 cents, but now if you're getting it for $1.79, still you're not wasting a whole half a gallon. So if you start thinking about things like that, I think today it's all about trying to save money, and which I am trying to do that because I feel like the more I save, the better my living situation is going to get. And it's not even about where you're living, whether you at a 6-bedroom house or whether you got a small 1-bedroom studio apartment. I think a lot of people that's out here right now, and I'm not knocking them, they have those 6-bedroom houses, more power to them. But when you look at some of the size of the bedrooms, they're really small. And they want to get out of them, but stay in them, work through it. Do not walk away from it. Excuse me. I did that, many years ago. I didn't walk away and abandon it, but I left the situation and sold the house that could have by now been paid off 3 times over, but I can't crowd spill milk, swallow milk, whatever the case may be. But now today, oh, by the way, don't be afraid because you're in your 50s or your 60s. Don't be afraid to make a purchase based on the fact that you're thinking you're too old. But what if something happened to me? What if I pass in 2 years? Well, that's why they have different insurances. They have gap insurance, have all this other stuff. You can't take it with you no way. So I wouldn't even worry about it. If you see something you want a new vehicle and it's in reason, if you want to take that next trip and you paying on it in advance, don't worry about what happens if you're not here. Just, keep the positive attitude. Think about you're going to be alive tomorrow. Think about that. I will be alive tomorrow. I'm going to wake up and go to work again. Now, do I wake up and walk around skipping and walking into my job? Good morning, Mr. Man. No, I have my doubts. I have my days where I would have literally turned around and came back home because I wasn't feeling like working that day. It's not because I hated company A. May have been something that happened at the job, but now that I think about it, there is no hatred towards the job itself. Because, back to what I said, I don't know, a couple days ago, longevity has its perks in a job. Just because you stayed at a job for 15, 20 years, yeah, you should be making this amount of money and you're not there yet, but you have that longevity. You could have bounced around in the last 15 years, bounced around between 5 jobs and don't have anything to show for it. That's what you have to think about. I have several friends like that in their 60s. bounced around. To each his own. But get somewhere and sit down, what I always say. Try to be comfortable in whatever you decide to do, however you're doing it. Try to make the best out of your situation. which I've been doing. I've been making the best out of every situation I've been in within the last, I would say 4 years. And I can really date it. It started 4 years ago. One day I woke up and I just felt like this can't be it. It has to get better. What am I going to do to make it better? I don't have to make a fake profile or a fake video with all these things telling you what I did, how I got step by step. The one thing I said when I woke up that day and said, I have to do better. What can I do? The first thing came to my mind, to learn patience. And patience has worked for me. I'm in no rush to do anything right now. I know the long outstanding running joke, me being from the South, and every time I meet somebody that was from the North, y'all so slow. Well, guess what? I'm going to take it slow. I'm in the slow lane. Why am I rushing? You know how much you've missed by going so fast? Never was the type of person that did everything fast anyway, but I'm just saying, I slowed it down even more. And when I tell you it's laid back, it's laid back. I remember days coming home from work. I tossed and turned all night long. I couldn't sleep because I just had things on my mind. Now I can rest easy. If I decide to come home and take me a nap in the middle of the afternoon, I can do that within reason. I'm not abusing time. I just want to get off the mid part of the day. I might just be in such a great mood. My work is caught up. I just may want to just go get off of work. Maybe go to the park and just come home, put my feet up. I have that. And I really appreciate that part right there, that it's so flexible as long as you don't abuse it. So people, stop abusing your time. You know, watch this video how they caught this young lady. She was clocking in from her cell phone and she hadn't even left home yet. She's clocking into work. And I had already told her that the job had high security there watching people. That's something I wouldn't do. And actually, we don't have to clock in, but I'm just saying, if I know I have to be there within a certain time, which is 6:30 a.m., I'm usually at work 5:45, 6 o'clock. If I know I'm going to be late, which I rarely go to work late, I immediately text my boss and let him know that I'm going to be in maybe an hour too late. I give him a general description of what's going on, whether I forgot I had a doctor's appointment or I have to take care of something, or even if I say it's time for my oil change, it completely skip my mind. I'll be in 3 hours later, whatever. If you don't abuse it, a lot of times your supervisor will understand that because we're human. So but you can't do this every, 2 or 3 times a week, every week. You just have to do things in moderation. And once you balance out your life, things will work better. That includes doing your laundry, coming home, doing, like I said, once I say it again, like I told, I'm the type that can wash, dry, fold, put away clothes in the same day. I do not have a clean basket of clothes in the closet right now. I do not have a pile of clothes on the couch right now. If I'm gonna do the laundry, I'm gonna do the laundry. And it's typically if I'm working at home, side work, whatever, I put in a load of clothes. So by the time I'm about to wind it down, those clothes have been washed and dried. Now I can fold. So I'm trying to streamline things. And what do they call it? Multitask. I'm trying to be better at that, because you can do 2 or 3 things in the span of 2 hours if you allow it to work for you. And that's what I've been doing a lot here lately, because I have free time on my hands. So it allowed me to organize things. I was already organized, but now it's getting really, I'm getting really good at it. I'm getting better at organizing things. And that's why I've been able to do the things and get the things that I wanted for myself. And it may sound like I'm being selfish because I keep saying myself, but I have given. I gave, I put in the time, I asked for it, and I was rewarded. So why not? We spent several years of our life giving to so many. I still give. I give to the needy. I give where it's important. But think about all the things that you have given to somebody, and you didn't take care of yourself. That hurts. If you really be honest with yourself right now, that hurts. Let's stop doing that. Get yours off the top, no matter what it is. If it's time to go Christmas shopping and you about to get your wife or husband that one gift that they've wanted all year, get your gift off the top. Don't deny yourself self-pleasure. We all want that one thing that's standing right there on that counter that we want to either upgrade or we saw something online that we want to buy. So as you shop, get yours off the top. And if it's just you and you tired of spaghetti, you got a little bit extra money, get that steak. Treat yourself. You know, it don't have to be the biggest steak in the world, but treat yourself. You deserve it. And something I started doing, long days work, and I need to get a foot tub because that would save me more money. I'll go to the nail salon and just have them soak my feet. No, you don't need to clip them this time, but they insist. Okay, clip them, scrape the dead skin, whatever they do your job. But I'm merely there to have my feet soaked because it feels so good. It's so relaxing. I put my headphones on. I find me some nice blues to listen to, and I just recline. And if it's not busy, they'll take more time with you. And if it's extremely slow, when they get ready to take your feet out of that water, if you want 10 more minutes, they'll give you 10 more minutes because you're there just to soak your feet, really. I do that. I've sat in there for a long time to have my feet soaked and they clip the nails. It's just something that you can do to just relax and ease your mind. Think about all those little things that you have, all of us that have electric blankets around the house that we don't use. I guarantee you, if you lay that electric blanket on your couch and you just lay on top of it and put it on warm, listen to you some music, you're going to feel a whole lot better within 30 minutes because of that whole sensation, something different. And that's what we have to, you don't have to go out and get a massage that's going to run you $75, $80, whatever. You know, I like doing that too, but it's not something you have to do all the time. Relax at home. You know, it's an easy way to do it. Purify your air. Do whatever you got to do. Two things that I absolutely love the smell of is coffee and tea. And I have a little small teapot. And I bought tea bags just for that purpose, whether I'm gonna drink it or not. I put the tea on real low and I just smell the tea brewing. Just smell it. And it smells so good. That's what relaxes me. Certain things that I can smell that I identify with. So you can even try that if you want to. Try whatever works for you to put your mind at ease. Especially those of you that are in long-term committed relationships. And let's just assume everybody has the perfect relationship right now. We all got a perfect relationship, but what can I do to even make it better? Don't just stop at perfection. Go beyond. Think about what you can do. Fellas, when the last time you wrote that wife of yours or spouse a letter? Not a text message, an actual letter. And in the process of doing it, leave those emojis alone. Right from your heart. Try that. Just try it. Even if it's just a simple, I was thinking about you. I hope you have a wonderful day. And put it right there next to her lunchbox in the morning before you leave out. If you have to go to work before she does, wish her well. Just let her know I was up this morning thinking about you as I was preparing for my day. Have a safe trip at work and just leave the note right there by her keys or whatever she does every morning. Let that person know you was thinking about her. That's something we all take for granted. I even took that for granted. Try doing those simple things in your life to make things better for you. It's not so much you're doing it for others, but I feel like now when I do things and I can smile at the end of it and I can get joy out of it and pleasure out of it, I always feel like I made the right move. You know, you don't have to wait for that new car smell to wear off or that shirt that doesn't fit the same way as it does when it was new. But guess what? I'm here to tell you, I like old clothes. If I can still fit in them, I'll wear them. If they don't have holes in them, I don't even care about the fade. If it's faded a little bit, but guess what? Fading never went out of style as far as I know. So whatever works for you, whatever your level of comfort is, just stay there. Feel your comfort at your own time, at your own convenience. So that way you can relax within that time frame. And when it's time to get out there the next day and go get it, you where to go get it, because you had an evening to where you took time out of your busy day to find that 10, 15, 20 or an hour to set aside for comfort. Make time for yourself. Invest in yourself. That's what I do. I know Friday and Saturday nights can be busy. Everybody wants to go out. Everybody wants to hang out. I'm here to tell you, it's been several Friday nights, especially, that I didn't even answer my phone because I had that level of comfort. I was in my moment of peace. Nobody was about to invite me out nowhere. Now I got to spend the next 2 days regretting the fact that I went because something jumped off. So not that I'm afraid. I'm just saying, when you get at that level and you're comfortable, stay in that level of being comfortable. Step out every now and then. Step out when you feel like you've earned that. If I don't feel like I've earned that night out, if I don't feel like I've earned that night to go out and treat myself to some Mexican food, because the last 2 weeks, I did a piss poor job at managing time and money. I'm not going out. I have to get to a certain point now to where I feel like I deserve it. And once I get to that point, I'll treat myself out, or I go out, I call friends, I do these things. I'm not just hanging out 4 nights a week like I used to do. It was easily 4 or 5 nights a week. And I was living with somebody at the time. I was just hanging out. I had it. But now I think about it, that was a lot of money that I wasted. I blew. I can't get it back. But now I think about it, it took me all this time to find myself over here, being by myself, managing my own time and not worrying about other people's time. Things personally got better for me. And that's nothing against the other person. I'm just saying, once things are removed out of your life, that's when you start to live. So let's stop being sad that your dog ran away, or this happened, or your loved one passed away. Move forward. Just move forward and keep going, because you're still alive. You have to keep on making it. I'm feeling so good right now to where my going to work Monday is not going to be an issue for me. Mondays was my number one day that I would call off. I remember my previous boss told me that. I said, I know. I said, for some reason, I can't make it on Mondays. But because I had put it in my mindset that way, that I'm going to hang out, I'm going to do these things. I'm not going to work Monday. I can be out on Saturday night enjoying myself. Man, I already know I'm not going to work Monday. I've already put that thought in my mind. Now I have the ability to, as a lot of people do, work remotely, which I don't even care to do it, because from the age I can remember, which was probably 14, I was getting up early in the morning, getting on the bus and going to my first job. So I like getting up and going out to go to work. I do remote work sometimes, but I can't focus that well to where I'm rolling out of this bed, I'm taking a shower, I'm getting coffee, and I'm jumping on this computer. I'm in that one little circle. There's days that it works perfectly, but I can't do it long term. I can't do it day in and day out. Unless, of course, I'm sick. Now, if I'm sick, I'm going to stay home and work. I'm not giving nobody my germs at my job like they so gracefully give them to me. I'm being stingy with my germs. I wish they can learn that, to stay home and stop hacking all over the place. That's why we all stay sick, because a lot of times people bring it to work. A lot of times their kids are sick. So now the kids bringing it home. Now they giving it to the parents. The parents come to work, they're giving it to you. And you're wondering why you always sick. I tried doing 2 things that that managed to help me through this cold and flu season. One is apple cider vinegar, and the other one is that liquid or oregano. Oh, it tastes like crap, but you just need a little bit and chase it with a little miniature cup of water. And it kept me from getting sick this past year. I was already doing apple cider vinegar, but I found out, number one, you don't take too much of it. Please check with your doctor on that. Apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. Remember that, with the mother in it. It actually says that on the bottle. is best taken before bedtime once you realize you're not going to consume anything else that night other than water. And you wake up in the morning feeling good. You don't wake up feeling bloated, your stomach hurt. You know, if you're eating all the burritos the night before and all this stuff, it's going to break it down. So when you get up in the morning, it's time to go shower or do your business. We'll keep it clean. You won't have any issues. So I've been doing that, and I did switch it to nighttime, and I kind of fell off because I forgot. So I strategically placed the bottle to where when I get ready to go to bed and turn off that last light, I have to look at that bottle. And I fixed my little bit. I bought the little 1 ounce shot cups, put a little bit in there, fill it up with water to chase it with. You'll get used to the taste. So try the apple cider vinegar for cleansing, for all these other things. My biggest thing is I haven't been drinking as much water as I used to, so I got to get back with my water. I have to get back with my water. And by the way, once I get done with this video of just running my mouth, I have no intentions on editing it, cutting out the blemishes. Like I said before, whatever I put out is what you guys are gonna get. And this video is not for everybody. But think about those souls that are at home right now on a Saturday night that have nothing to do, whether they designed it that way or they just don't have any friends. The introverts, they like videos like this. They like to hear people talk. So for those of us that are out there that are at home right now, relaxed, whether you in New York, whether you in LA, whether you are down here in Georgia or in another country, and you're sitting at home, don't look at it as you have nothing to do. Embrace that moment of peace. Because I know you can get up and go out if you want to right now, no matter what time it is. Right now, I'm looking at the clock. It's 10:26 where I am. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So where am I going this time of night? To bed. If there's a mercy, maybe. But there is nowhere I'm going this time of night unless I had already been asleep for 4 or 5 hours and I'm just waking up and I'm going to the casino. There's nowhere I'm going tonight. So enjoy that peace. Don't let those walls close in on you. If you're an introvert and you like that lifestyle, don't let anybody talk about you about it. Enjoy your peace. Just enjoy your peace. Do whatever makes you happy on a Friday or Saturday night. And let's just stop thinking because it's the weekend, we have to have something to do. You do enough during the week. If it's like mine, my week has been it's been very demanding the last 4 or 5 months. So when time for the weekend comes, and still some weekends I'm working. But when I get that time to take it easy, I'm going to take it easy. Today on the way in, I had to go drive an hour and a half away to come back. I stopped at the park. Well, I stopped and got something to eat. And I stopped at the park for just 45 minutes to eat my lunch coming back. Wasn't planned. Just sat there. It was a beautiful day. I took 45 minutes out of my schedule to just sit at the park and eat my lunch. And I continued on with my trip because it wasn't scheduled. When you in the middle of doing something, especially when you're driving, and that unscheduled idea come to your mind, whether it's stopping to go get some lunch or stopping to go get some ice cream or whatever, take advantage of it every now and then. You know, get out of your comfort zone, get out of your element, stop doing A to Z every day. You know, just find something to do. And one thing I do, I don't even tell my friends, the few that I have left that I haven't cut off. I go bowling. I don't have to tell them because I know they're not going to go. I don't need them to tell me, man, I would go, but I'm not inviting y'all no more. I go. I can make friends at a bowling alley. If I decide to go to a bar, I can make friends at a bar. I can still keep these friends over here, but I go because I enjoy it. So if that's something that you want to start doing or start joining some of these online groups, and I got involved with a couple of them, and it's strictly online, just people talking about everyday things. I happen to enjoy them because these are strangers. These are people that I'm getting to know outside of my normal people, and all the conversations for the most part have been positive. And I'm learning things from people from different parts of the country, even some things that that I even wanted to try. And I did some of the things that they suggested, and it worked for me. It absolutely did. It's certain ways that, you shower. There's certain things that you do that you can do to help you to relax. There's certain oils that you can use in your shower. Get away from these abrasive soaps, which I still use. But there are certain oils you can use and different types of body washes that you can use when you shower to help relax you. That's not in the big box stores that they tell you that's full of all these chemicals. Trust me, if you just Google it, relaxing shower remedies, you'll be surprised you already have that stuff in your house. And you'll sleep like a newborn baby. So anyway, once again, this is Warren on YouTube. So please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, especially subscribe. I'm trying to get up some subscribers. I'm trying to make some new friends on here. And it's a slow thing, but like I said earlier, it's patience. I'm going to be patient. And if you like my content, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, if you got any questions, comments, or things that you could suggest that I could do to get this thing really running, please reach out to me. I don't think it's going to happen overnight because I got a lot going on, but I just want to get on here when I can. This is probably one of the longest videos I've done that I could say I actually talked for a long time and I ain't even talk about nothing. But those nothings that I talked about, it registered to more people than not. There are so many other people that this conversation registered to than the normal people that are probably still watching this. It registered. It's probably helping people. So if you want to post some videos on your day-to-day activities, you want to talk about whatever, keep in mind that you actually might be helping somebody. That person might be having a bad time, bad day. And they hear your voice. They hear what you're talking about. They hear what you're going through. They hear your changes, your life-changing events. And it registers in their mind. So we can all be a help to others. That's not always about money. Sometimes just helpful voice, just words of wisdom, words of knowledge, things of that nature. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. So once again, it's Warren. Thanks for listening and watching, everyone. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Until next time, take care.